This is actually our way of living. By valuing and empowering all, we inspire a joyous and fulfilling life. And so my question to you today is, how long have you been in prison? Like, really, how long have you been in prison? And many of you might look at me and kind of go, all right, sunshine, what's the catch here? In the month of July, we get to look at liberty, freedom, and today's talk title is Free at Last. And yet, many folks, even folks on this call, don't even know that they're doing hard time. Is it possible that you, beloved, yes, you, the one who's sitting in your seat, right there in the comfort of your own home or automobile, is it possible that you are doing hard time and don't even know it? You know, Ernest Holmes in What We Believe, he says, I believe the ultimate goal of life is the ultimate goal of life. I believe the ultimate goal of life to be complete emancipation from all discord of every nature. And this goal is sure to be attained by all. I believe the ultimate goal of life to be complete emancipation from all discord of every nature. How long have you been in prison? What are the discords in your life? For many folks on this call, identified and unidentified, it might have been the discord of addiction, whether it's addiction to drugs or alcohol or shopping, or maybe our addiction was our spouse or mate who had an addiction. For some of us, maybe our addiction or our discord has to do with our belief in separation, in lack and limitation, anxiety, fear, depression, despair. Maybe the discord is coming to believe that we're living in a day and a time where society is no longer comfortable with the status quo and the elevation of some and not the elevation of all. The world doesn't have our vision and mission statements, beloved. The world needs our vision and mission statement that by valuing and empowering all, we inspire a joyous and fulfilling life. My question is, how long have you been in prison? How long have you been doing time, thinking and believing and living in your own prison, not necessarily a prison created by society that is known as jails and institutions and living behind bars, but how long have you been living behind the bars of discord? One of my beloved mentors said, do you live in a minefield or in a garden? Because when we live in a minefield mentality, we explode with the weeds of worry, doubt, fear, lack, and limitation. And he says, choose to cultivate your inner garden. What have you been entertaining and thinking about? Why is it that we're not living the life of our dreams? That quote was by Michael Bernard Beckwith. Did you know that we live in our own prison because we have either accepted the teachings of our quote unquote forefathers and mothers, the teaching of our ancestors, the teachings of society, the teachings of our own temporary experience. And we have not yet fully explored what is for us. You see, the deal is this, is that when we believe what society says, then we experience what society experiences. And if you like what society is experiencing, then continue to believe and do what society says. But if you are uncomfortable, if you're experiencing lack, limitation, poor health, if you're experiencing fear, doubt, and depression, despair, then you are not free. And the freedom is not being behind bars, but being behind bars that we have placed in our own mental consciousness. We have created a mind field consciousness to where we step, where we're stepping, that each and every time we step, there's always something happening and something going on and going wrong. You see, we've created this for ourselves because we have not truly examined and not truly dedicated our life to the practices and the principles of this particular teaching known as the teaching of the science of mind and spirit. And we, meaning the person sitting in your seat, you and only you can free yourself. Because see, you didn't come here to see me. You came here to be liberated. You came here to experience true freedom. Now, I know yesterday here in the United States of America, there were a lot of fireworks and M80s and whatever's, you know, sparklers and things happening in various neighborhoods, supposedly celebrating freedom and independence. But the truth of the matter is that we're not even emancipated from our own thoughts and our own backwards thinking. So what are we really celebrating? Freedom from, you know, the British rule? Come on now. What about freedom from the rule of lack and limitation and fear and doubt and anxiety? What about that rule that has us on a daily basis suffering in silence or even suffering out loud? We must be free. You know, it's interesting because a lot of people, when we do our prayers, you know, they want abundance and freedom, you know, freedom from lack. They want to experience financial freedom. And don't you know that 1 out of 3 people who hit the lottery and win big go broke within 3 to 5 years? Now, why might that be? That's because they're still living in lack consciousness. Yeah. Lack consciousness. When we continue to entertain lack and despair and illness, when we continue to entertain limitation and doubt and fear, when we continue to entertain oppression in each and every form, then we continue to get more of the same. You know, as religious scientists, as spiritual people, we can't just sit back and look and go, why look, dear, look at the conditions of the world. Why, look at what's happening out there. Look at, these people have lost their minds. It's a good thing they've lost their minds because they didn't need that mind anyway. We need to be losing our minds, because it's not working anyway. The deconstruction of oppression that we're recognizing and seeing now is because people, spiritual people, have been focused on freedom and equality, on a world that will everyone. And now, and only now, we're beginning to actually make motion and movement towards dismantling the forms of oppression that have kept us bound. But that happens, uh-oh, here it comes. That only happens when you, the person in the square, the person in your seat, the person standing up, it only happens when you begin to really engage in your spiritual practice and know exactly who you are. You see, up until then, what do we think? That we're just human beings? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. There's nothing that separates our life from the life of God itself. Our prayer is powerful. Our meditation is powerful. These two particular tools, beloved, these are tools that help to set you free, to emancipate you from all discord. You see, when you begin to just sit still enough and see yourself as you are, as you really are, as life itself sees you, not as some limitless, powerless individual who doesn't have anything. No, but when you begin to actually see yourself as the unique, unrepeatable, magnificent way that life itself is expressing itself in human form, with all the powers and the privileges and the responsibilities of life itself, when you begin to know your life as that is when we get to say, free at last, free at last. Who wants to be free? Who wants real freedom? I certainly do. I don't want to wake up and go, good God, it's morning. I want to wake up and be like, good God, it is morning. Look it, good God, good life, perfect health. You know, Ernest Holmes said that we believe that the most high God and the innermost God are the same God. That's what we believe. But as practitioners, whether we are licensed practitioners or whether we are practitioners of this truth, which I believe we all are, means that we must practice this truth, that we must engage in our prayer and meditation work, that we must engage in knowing that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. Now, this came to me this morning as I was awakening from an amazing night's rest. And here's what came to me. My prayer and my meditation work is not to please a God outside of myself. If you are praying because you think, oh, let me get in God's good graces. Oh, let me meditate because God will be well pleased in me. Oh, because I meditate. Oh, because I pray. Oh, because I'm engaged in spiritual practice. That if I am believing, and if you are believing that if you pray and meditate, that you're going to please God, wake up. Wake up. Prayer and meditation is not to please some power and presence outside of ourselves so that we get all the good of life. Prayer and meditation is a spiritual, powerful tool that we use so that we know who we are, that we are one with this power and presence. We don't have to please this power and presence. We're not making God in our own image as if we have to please a parent or please the police or please the president or please our spouse. We are the thing itself. Get free, get free, get free. This is the message today, is that if we really want to sing, if we really want to celebrate some independence, if we really want to celebrate our emancipation, if we really want to celebrate some freedom, we have to know that we're not victims and that we are enough and that we are worthy. And we have to recognize who we are. We're not free until we realize that that is our truth. We're not free until we realize that that's our truth. Prayer and meditation is not to please God. It is to know who I am. And then I'm not worried about you and who you think I am, or what you think I'm worth. That I can stand in my own spiritual birthright and know who I am. And by standing in my own birthright of knowing who I am, then ultimately I know who you are. Yeah. That is freedom, beloveds. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That even though our bodies might tell us that we're a certain race or a certain beautiful skin complexion or whatever our texture of our hair or the width of our nose or the slant in our eyes, that even though we're having this amazing, beautiful human experience, that I am more than my body, that I am more than what you see. And see, when I know this for myself and I know who I am, woo! Talk about freedom. I walk with my head held high, knowing who you are and knowing who I am. And that is freedom, beloved. That there's no chains holding me down. I'm not dragging, 50-pound weight and doing hard time, pounding sand and pounding rocks into sand. This must end. And we cannot celebrate freedom for one until we celebrate freedom for all. But you know what? Freedom for one is freedom for all. Because yea, though I be lifted up, I draw all unto me. So as I become free, as each of us individually becomes free from all discord, we shine that light, and we are that light. And then and only then can we say together, free at last. Free at last. So I'm just going to invite us into a moment of the stillness to examine where you are not free, where you're experiencing discord, where you're not achieving or reaching or being or having what it is that you want. And isn't it because self-reliance fails you? Meaning just depending on the self with a small s. This is an opportunity now to actually begin to recognize that right where you are, that life energy that is living you, that is breathing you, that is beating your heart, that is coursing the blood through your veins, that is digesting your breakfast, that thing that operates every organ, every function of your body, that energetic, that is higher power, that is life itself. And to the degree in which I know that this power, this presence, this life is me, it is my life. I am life itself. I'm not some mild-mannered reporter from a great metropolitan newspaper. I am life itself. And so when I leave that belief of lack, of limitation, of doubt, of fear, of unhealthiness, of not enoughness, when I leave it at my quote unquote altar of life, I just trade that thought in. Be like, oh, here's this thought of lack and limitation. Ah, yes, let me receive who I really am, what I really am. And I recognize that I am the thing itself. And to the degree in which I anchor that this is the truth of who I am, I breathe that in now. I breathe in that I am life itself, that I am abundant, that I am beauty, creativity, divine order, infinite intelligence, eternal life, wholeness, wisdom, prosperity, love, that I am laughter, that I am health and wholeness, that it is who I am. And I see myself standing and walking and living with this knowledge of who I am. Ah, who are you? Ha! I am the unique and unrepeatable way that perfect life expresses. Who are you? Ha! I am the unique and unrepeatable way that life expresses. Who are you? I am the unique, perfect, magnificent way that life expresses in human form. That is who I am. Oh, and my name is Sunshine. My name is Julia. My name is Judy. My name is Lily. My name is Jan. My name is John. My name is Mert. My name is Bill. My name is Gary. My name is Kevin. My name is Nancy. My name is Bertha. My name is Ilma. My name is Shauna. My name is Hannah and Frankie, Luna and Jen. My name is George. My name is Don and Vancy. My name is Sunny Day. My name is Lorena. My name is Helen and Dana and Dean. But who I am is the unique and unrepeatable way that the perfect power and presence, that the magnificent life shows up in human form. That is who I am. And for that, I give thanks and I let it be so. Free at last, beloveds. Free. We are free at last. And so it is.
And so it is.
My name is Gary. And this is who I am. And so it is.